Gemini, hi. So this is going to be a reading for October 28th through November 3rd. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Gemini, what do we got? You got something? The overall energy for the reading, the Magician. You're trying to manifest something here. I don't know exactly what yet, but we shall see. In the recent past, the Empress, the Four of Swords, the Queen of Swords. I mean, you're looking at this other energy that you're showing me here, and you feel good about it. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means. You're just telling me, I feel good about this one. Okay. Okay. In the current situation, the Three of Swords, the Four of Wands, the Four of Cups, you're very disappointed here, very upset, very hurt, potentially, too, by a particular commitment of some sort. In the immediate future, the Chariot, the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords. This is a decision of just putting yourself first and giving yourself some time and space away, potentially, from what hurts you, which makes sense. You know, when you do decide to put yourself first. Let's clarify. Let me see this Magician, what it wants from us. What do you want, Magician? The Hierophant, the Five of Cups, the Justice card. You're seeking, like, deep connection here to someone, you know? But you're seeking in a place that has already been broken. Where you're trying to rectify that in some way, and you're like, that's where it is, that's where I'm seeking. What you're not understanding is you're actually looking for this depth, this deep-ass commitment, but in the form of an energy. And you're dictating where that energy can be found, which is not the way it goes. So you're manifesting this energy of, I want deep commitment with someone. Oh, I think I know where it is. Let me go look back to a situation that didn't work out, and that's where it should be. Does that sound about right? Because you're asking in your manifestation for this energy of a deep commitment to someone. You know, that's an energy. And you're personifying that almost in someone that you already know, and you think that's where it is. That doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? You're trying to force that to be in a place that you already know, because you think that's where it is. So you're trying to include your mind a little too much in your manifestation. Let me do the Empress. In the recent past, the Three of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Six of Cups. Okay, so I see a soul connection there. Everything looks good. Everything feels fine initially in this one. It feels like, oh my God, this could work out. This is great. Let's do the Four of Swords. The Strength card, the Queen of Cups, the Nine of Swords. Okay. Still going, still feeling things for this one. But it's starting to get a little tough. It's starting to get, either that, or you're starting to see some red flags that were there from the get-go, you just ignored, and then you all of a sudden remember them, and you're like, okay. It's starting to feel uneasy. Okay. Let's do the Queen of Swords. King of Wands, Page of Cups, the Star. Okay, so you still choose to ignore the uneasiness to this because it feels too good. It feels good. Like, you know, I want this because it feels good. I feel good about it. Fair. What's a little unfair is that you're choosing to ignore certain things. But other than that, fair. Let's see here. 3 of Swords in the current situation. The Moon, the Hermit, the Queen of Swords. So it's a conscious decision. This almost looks like you were coming to me and telling me, hey, you know, I just don't want to focus on the negative stuff, man. I just don't want to focus on the negative stuff. It's not negative stuff, it's reality. Negative, positive, we give it that label, you know? It's not about that. It's not about, oh, let me live in positive land and that's it. That's life. That's not life, unfortunately, you know? I wish it could be. Everybody wishes it could be. But at the same time, how the fuck are we going to learn lessons if it's all that? We're not. We have to learn through the contrast of the negative, which is not negative. It's just reality of things. So you're choosing to ignore a little bit of the reality because it's painful. It's like negative. Ew. Okay. Okay. So it's a conscious decision to not look in the direction of that. Painting that as if it's negative versus positive, kind of a war here, which is not that, but okay. For the 4 of Wands, in the current situation, you get the Hangman, the 9 of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. It does look pretty. It does look pretty. It does feel pretty. But is it real? You know? Or did you go away again, vacation time for Gemini in fantasy land? Because you have that tendency. We all do to certain extents. You're more exposed to that. You know, not you, in general, air signs, you know, where it's like, come on down from that fantasy land, come back, feet on the ground here, look in front of you. I don't want to, it's nicer there. It feels good. It does feel good. I agree. The energies are great. But is that reality, you know, of what this is? Oh, no, not really. It's what it could be. Okay. Okay. Let's do the 4 of Cups. The Knight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the 4 of Swords. And then you're telling me, well, if I come back, feet on the ground and all, and in reality, can I do what I feel like I want to do then? You know, based on what I created in a fantasy world, and now I feel all good about it, and now I'm super excited, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. And can I? You tell me. You just chose to ignore this feet on the ground part, to live up there because it's better. This is negative up here. And then you... also you come back from there from time to time, you know, to with this question. Well, can I do this? Can I do that? You have to live here long enough for you to determine if you can do this or that. You can't just hop in whenever you kind of remember, oh, there's a reality to things. Hop into the reality of it and say, well, if I do that, then that's going to happen. Of course, you lived way up there, you know, for all this time. You're here for a second. You're not even taking a look around to see how the reality of the situation truly is. And then you ask, well, if I do this, then that'll happen and that'll happen. How do you know? How can you know? You don't know because you haven't experienced the reality of things. You've experienced the fantasy of things, you know? Oh, man. Okay. So it's a little bit of a battle here between the reality and the fantasy of this. For you, where you got caught up, or you got a little stuck in the fantasy land of this, because you chose at some point to not look at the negative stuff, which in reality, it's called reality. Let's do the Chariot in the immediate future. You get the Death card, the 10 of Swords, the 3 of Pentacles. I mean, you're scared of this, and I get it. It's ugly sometimes. But isn't it better? Doesn't it feel better? You're hanging on to something based on an idea, not on what's really at play in that something. Isn't it better to just let it go? Even though you're showing me, I'm kind of dreading this, because if I do come back to planet Earth here and I see this for what it is, I'm going to let that shit go. And it's kind of scary. Yeah, but isn't it better? Scary, yeah. Painful, potentially, yeah. Better though. How long are you going to live in Fantasyland with this one for? Undetermined? Your whole life? I don't think so. You know, that's not the reason that we're here on this, in this human experience. To live who knows in what parts of the world. In Fantasyland. Hold on. Sneeze. Crap. Anyways. So yeah, you're kind of giving me a sense of, okay, I'm coming back to planet Earth and it's gonna suck, but I have to do this. I have to go. I gotta leave this behind. Because, you know, the reality is that I've been in Fantasyland about it, and those two worlds are not the same, apparently. Okay. Now, I don't know if you're going to do it or not, but that's definitely the conclusion that reaches you at some point. You know, I'm not sure if you're going through with it, even though all of these energies are kind of indicating that you are. For the Queen of Pentacles in the immediate future, you get the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Two of Wands. You may not be ready, even if you reach the conclusion. You're giving me a sense of, I'm not sure. Okay, if you're not sure, take some time for yourself here, that's what you're planning to do. You know, because you want to be sure. You want to be sure about it. But you also want to be sure from the perspective of the reality of this, not from the perspective of the fantasy of this. You know what I mean? So again, you've been away for so long in Fantasyland about this that you may need some more time. And that's okay. If you're in this position of, I'm not 100% sure, take your time. Take your time. But for you, and be honest with yourself during this. You know, do it for you here. Let's do the Seven of Swords. In the immediate future, you get the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Eight of Swords. Man, you're stubborn. And I thought the fixed signs are stubborn. You're presenting yourself. You're behaving like a fixed sign here. What are you doing? Like, I'm so stubborn. I can't help it. I can see that. You're very stubborn, which is going to make things a little more difficult for you here. Because the energy is at play, your decision is at play. No matter how much time you want to give yourself, your decision is already here. But okay, if you want to give yourself enough time to align fully with that decision, I can understand that. But then you're showing up saying, I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I'm completely lost in my head now. Maybe that's why you're choosing a lot of times to spend some more time in Fantasyland. Because over there, you live by your heart. You live through your heart. Over here, in reality, for some reason, your mind is coming into play and that's all you stand by. No, try to bring that balance between your heart, what you truly feel about the situation, and your mind. But don't let the mind run the show because you get to this position of, I don't know what to fucking do. I'm completely lost about the situation. Now I don't know shit. And I don't know, and I don't know, and I don't know. And you're stubborn about it too, to keep yourself in there. So just balance yourself out. Use this time that you're taking to be sure about things. And just try to be in the moment. Try to stay in the moment as much as possible. And for the moment, you're going to need your heart. You know? So you're going to need that balance between your mind and the heart. The clarity of the mind, the feeling of the heart. Try to stick there for as long as possible until you are completely clear and sure, this is what I want to do. When you feel these energies of blah, 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 coming into play, come back to that. Come back into the present moment. You know? So, let's see what the universe has to close it off. The Seven of Cups, the Justice card, the Three of Cups. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe that you truly want the best for everybody involved, right? And a lot of times when we hear that, we like to interpret that as, yes, I want to be with this person. That's not what I said. And that's not what that phrase means. The best for everybody involved means the best for everybody involved. That could be negative outcomes, because your mind perceives them as negative. But the best for everybody involved is, again, just like, you know, the commitment type, deep commitment type of energy is just an energy that is for everybody's highest self best, you know, not for what we think it's best. So At the end of the day, again, I feel like you want the best for everybody involved. So that's what's going to happen as long as you stay connected to yourself and bring yourself into that balance between the mind and the heart all the time through this process until you get through with this process, you know? And don't spend too much time in fantasy land, because it's not going to help you. You can have your own fantasy in reality, you know? Which the fantasy, if you want, is that place in which you reach balance between the mind and the heart. It's nice there. You can take it as fantasy because we don't experience that much anyway on planet Earth. So, but anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.